How's it going, everyone? It's Avi here with another weather report on the winter weather that's going on in the United States. Today is December 18th, 2017, and we're going to start right off the bat by looking at the United States right now, currently. So I already left it at the future. Let me go back to what's currently happening right now, and you could see that most of the isolated snow showers are up in the north. Like last time I did winter weather update was about 3 days ago, and since then nothing much has changed. We still have like a clipper system that's basically right over the northeast region right here. We have some like moderate to even heavy snow showers reported in the main area, some the southeastern parts of New Hampshire, and just north of Boston is reporting some snow showers. So I don't think this is gonna produce much. Probably like a small area of 1 to 3 inches. Also with this clipper that's censored, um, basically at the border between Canada and New York, that's expected to move more west and probably bring another 1 to 3 inches and probably a more snow in the higher elevations like the Adirondacks of the upstate New York area. And then we have another clipper system that's basically over Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan right now, basically over the Great Lakes. That's expected to move like more due east, so it should move fairly quickly and shouldn't affect the United States any longer. Maybe might affect the northern part of New England, but besides that, that's about it for this clipper system. As all these clipper systems don't seem to be weakening, they just seem to be moving out of the country pretty quickly, and they're not even strong enough to begin with. So not sure why. Okay, now it's loading, and then besides that, we have this low pressure system from the northwest part of the United States that's expected to do more. That's expected to cause more havoc in the United States, and this low pressure is currently just offshore of the Pacific Northwest, and it's expected to move towards the United States and could probably be something to watch over the next couple of days. I don't think it's going to be anything major, but it's still going to be something to watch, especially in the Midwest to Great Lakes region. But overall, it looks fairly quiet for the United States. I don't expect much of any big snowstorms probably over the next 5 to 7 days from now, since the pattern is starting to change for the United States. As you know, basically for the past 2 weeks, we've been having this pattern where we have basically a high pressure centered at around the Canada area, and that high pressure is bringing down that jet stream, which is bringing a lot of Alberta clippers through. I would say the dip is a little bit exaggerated. I would say the dip is just down towards the Great Lakes region and northeast, but beside but anyways, like usually we had this pattern where Alberta Clippers kept like pummeling the Great Lakes region and Northeast region, and like we already have like a lot of like above average snow in the Northeast already, thanks to this pattern, bringing not necessarily strong snowstorms, but but very frequent like clippers that are bringing probably 1 to 3 inches of snow most of the time. We did have 4 inches from Winter Storm Benji, but that was more of an offshore storm for the Northeast. So the pattern is starting to change from this like dip in the jet stream that goes through Great Lakes to the Northeast, but now it's starting to even out basically, and it's gonna bring more above average temperatures for most of the United States, and it is shown with both of the computer models. And what's surprising about the computer models is that they're very like both of them are very similar to each other. They're very like you could almost call them the same. That's how accurate they are. And when they're that accurate, the two most reliable computer models, that means that like we have high confidence that we're gonna see mostly above average temperatures for most of the United States, which should limit that snowfall and should force a lot of that cold air mostly towards the north and limit most of the snowstorms to stay up north and not go and drop down south like we've been seeing for the past several days in the Great Lakes and Northeast and even the Southeast. And you could see that this, as of today, most of the US is under above average temperatures thanks to a low pressure system that's just up to the north of it. Because we have like a ridge of high pressure that's centered just outside the southeast coast, and I'm gonna show you it right now through the normalized oh wait, the regular anomaly, MSLP anomaly, MSLP anomaly. So what this basically means is that the darker the reds, the higher the pressure, and the darker the blues, the lower the pressure. So we can see that this, as of today, we have a blocking high pressure, and that high pressure is going to force a lot of like subtropical low pressures up to the north, which should definitely increase the temperature. So we see the high pressure basically right around this area, and then we see the lower pressures just moving up north and building around the Canada area, which is going to bring mostly above average temperatures for Northeast, but then for most of the United States. But then we see the low pressure from the Pacific Northwest start to come closer and down towards the US. But again, thanks to this like blocking high pressure that's going to be basically towards the East Coast, it's going to force, like as this low pressure is trying to move down south, this high pressure to the east is going to force it back up north, which should make the temperatures remaining warm. But then what's, and it's the same for the GFS model. It's basically the same thing. It's taking basically the similar track. I'm gonna show you the precipitation map to give you a better idea of what's exactly going to happen with this low pressure system in the northwest, because it's basically going to drop down, bring snow to the higher elevations. It depends where you are in the higher elevations to get a specific amount. I won't go too in depth with those snow totals, but we see that this clipper system dropping down. We see, I would say, probably in a big area of 1 to 3 inches in the northern Midwest. But as it tries to drop down, we see this ridge just build in the southeast. And wait, just 1 second. Okay. We see basically this ridge just centered just to the southeast, forcing this low pressure up. So snow totals should remain at a minimum for the Great Lakes, probably 3 to 5 between Wisconsin and Michigan, but mostly 1 to 3 in the northern Midwest areas, and in the higher elevations, probably 3 to 5 as well. So that low pressure shouldn't get too powerful either, since there won't be strong instability either, because the air behind it isn't like bitterly cold, yet the air in front of it isn't like entirely hot either. So there's not going to be much instability or baroclinic support that's going to really strengthen it. And when it finally does so, it's going to be well up above Canada and far from the United States. But the thing that we should be watching is the Christmas snowstorm that people have been worrying about, because so there's a big confidence that right around the Christmas area, we're going to see a huge dip in the jet stream, bringing Arctic air to most of the United States. But the big question is, like, how quick will that happen, and how far will it drop, and how hot will the air be in the southeast to create that instability. So right now, the GFS and the European are taking quite similar tracks, but I would say the GFS is a bit more offshore, which increases the chances of having snow more towards the I-95 corridor. But as of right now, it's still considered rain, but we have a good area of snow in the northern New England area. And then for the European, it's more towards the east, so I would expect that most of the snow is going to stay in the higher elevations, probably the Appalachian Mountain Range. But we'll have to see where this system exactly tracks. The European is taking a track more towards the west, I meant to say, and the GFS is more towards the east. So it's going to be interesting to see whether this jet stream dip could like change in the future. It's unknown yet. There's still some differentiation between the models, but we'll have to see about that. So keep in mind for winter, but that's about it, guys. I'm gonna finish it off right here. I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and Thank you for watching.